Hey folks, John Ferguson Smart here. What are the two biggest skills you need to succeed in test automation? I would say that the two biggest skills are, first of all, understanding what is worth automating. That's actually the most important thing, because if you don't know what's worth automating, you can build all the frameworks you like, you can write all the test scripts you want. It won't add value to the business if you're not able to target, to pinpoint with laser accuracy where your scenarios are going to add value. And to do that, you need to collaborate. You need to understand how to talk to the business, how to communicate with the business, how to understand the business requirements and articulate them in a way that can be executed, that can be turned into an executable acceptance test or functional test. And what this means is that writing manual tests and then learning how to automate those manual tests is not an effective approach. It's not an efficient approach. It's very slow, it's very cumbersome, and it leads to very high maintenance. You also need a great deal of skill to automate your manual test scripts. We'll get to that in a minute. But to get started, the most valuable skill, I would say, is to understand, to learn how to understand your requirements, to understand the business needs, to collaborate and communicate about the business needs, and then write them, express them in an executable format. That is the starting point. That is the first thing you need to learn. The second thing is the technical skills. You do need technical skills to automate, because you can't just rely on tooling. You can't just rely on record replay or codeless tools to get the job done, because they are designed to record, replay, to basically automate your manual test scripts. And like I said, that's an inefficient approach. That leads to very high maintenance, even if you are using these tools. To get the most bang out of your buck, to get the most leverage, to be able to do in-sprint test automation, you absolutely need to be able to write automation code very, very efficiently. That does take some skills. Not hugely difficult, but it does take some practice. So that's the other thing you need to focus on. Get skilled in the development side of automation. And that applies to any language. That applies to any tool set. It's generic development skills are what we're talking about here. So the two most important things to make success of test automation, the things you want to hone and practice, are collaborating, learning how to communicate and understand the requirements and express them in an executable format, and then knowing how to actually implement them using automation. So hopefully that's helpful for folk. Thanks for listening.